Hey, this is Pastor Laf, and it's good to talk to you today. Here with me today, Take 5 with Pastor Laf. Let's get started. My screen is covered with versions of the Bible, so bear with me as I'm looking at the Strong's, the King James, and the New King James Bible. We're in Psalm chapter 4, and I wanted to read that out of the New King James Bible, New King James Version, so let's do that. We'll go back and touch it. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me in my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long, sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? Selah, which means think about it, consider it, pause. But know that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Be angry and do not sin. Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. They are many who say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift up the light of your countenance upon us. You have put gladness in my heart, more than in the season that their grain and their wine increases. I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Excuse me, that verse, that whole passage is amazing. And I always love David's heart. That's why I wanted to stay here. I think David is a perfect example of someone who speaks and lives by faith. He might cry out sometime wondering what's going on, but he always turns it around. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me in my distress. Let me just tell you, in the King James it says, you have enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You've enlarged me when I was in distress. I love the way King James puts it because the word enlarge means you have enlarged me. You have broadened me, and the word distress means narrow. You have broadened me when I was narrow, when things looked like my choices, my hope was narrow, was very small. You've enlarged it. You've broadened it. When I thought I was in a narrow place, you gave me hope in great things. That's a powerful verse just in itself. Then he turns and he says, sons of men, how long will you glory? How will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you do that? Will you love false things and worthlessness? And then I love it. He says, Lord, you've set apart for himself him who is godly. And therefore the Lord will hear when I call to him. I love that. The next verse says, be angry and do not sin. Actually, in the King James, it says, stand in awe and sin not. The reason it says stand in awe, the Hebrew word means to quiver. And so I guess you could say it could be sin, but in the King James, it's a sense of awe, of fear. Shake and do not sin. It makes sense both ways, I'm sure. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your heart upon your bed. Meditate with your heart upon your bed and be still. Do you think about God all the time? Do you think about him? Do you always give him your thoughts? Are you always thinking about how good he is to you and all the great things he's doing for you? I want to encourage you today that that's exactly what we need to be doing. We need to be considering how awesome it is. Think about it on your bed. It's a powerful thought. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness. Put your trust in the Lord. There are many who say, who's going to show us any good? Who's going to help us out now? Where's our help going to come from? Remember, he enlarges you when you're narrowed. He's enlarged you when you're in distress. He becomes your hope. He answers your prayer. He says, Lord, lift up the light of your countenance upon us. You put gladness in my heart more than the season that grain and wine is increased. In other words, you can give me all the money in the world. You can give me all the stuff in the world, but nothing gives me the peace that only you can give. Father, you are my peace. That's what he's saying. He's saying, man, I have such joy, such gladness in my heart because I know God is my peace. That's why he says in verse 8, I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. I love that part. You know, we live in a world where everyone needs every kind of medication just to make it through the day. David here is so great. I'm going to lie down in peace and sleep, for you make me dwell in safety. This is a verse of faith. Read it, reread it, and read it again. Let God speak to you in it. God bless you today. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me with Take 5 for Pastor Laf. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.